Hey there everyone, it's CandyEvie here and welcome to another top 10 video. Well, sorta. This is actually part 2 of yet another collaboration with pdwinnall. Today we're going to be going over the top 10 features that we don't want to see in Pokemon Sun and Moon. As I said, this is part 2, so if you want to see part 1, then you can hop along to that video by clicking the link on screen or in the description below.
This is the second half of this list. You can find the first half of this video over on my channel. Links will be annotated on screen at the end of the video and also in the description. Watch it after this one if you haven't saw it. A tremendous thank you goes to CandyEvie for having me on the channel once again, and we really hope you enjoy the video. Remember, this is just a fun, light-hearted video. Don't take this too seriously.
Well, with that out of the way, let's get on with the list. Point 6. We don't want to see too many rival characters. Generation 5 was different in the regard that for the first time, there was more than one rival character. Generation 6 in particular really did focus on the theme of friendship and traveling together as a group. While this is great, I feel like 2 generations in a row is kinda passing the limit. While Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire did put a lot more character development into the rival character, it's still not really enough. What we really want is another strong rival character, like Blue or Silver, not another group of rivals like in X and Y. They work well together, but on their own they're honestly pretty forgettable. We really don't want Sun and Moon to follow suit from Generation 5 and 6 in this sense.
Our next point is to discuss how we don't want Pokemon Sun and Moon to simply reuse starters from previous Pokemon games. In the most likely scenario, the Generation 6 Kalos starter Pokemon. Something a lot of people were speculating when we first saw the leaked trademarks for Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon were that we could potentially have the option of starting off with the Kalos starter Pokemon, Chespin, Fennekin and Froakie, and that Pokemon Sun and Moon were going to be something called a quote-unquote Generation 6.5. Now, thankfully, we've received official confirmation that Sun and Moon are going to be an entirely new generation with new Pokemon in a brand new world, but until we receive official confirmation that Sun and Moon will host new starter Pokemon, the worry that we could be reusing the starter Pokemon of Pokemon games past is definitely a real one. Now, don't get me wrong, I've grown to absolutely adore Generation 6's starter Pokemon. However, I'd absolutely adore being able to start this new journey with a brand new starter companion, something we've never saw before, something that evolves into something new and badass. This might be one of the weaker doubts on this list, and it wouldn't be the end of the world, but it's still a slight worry until we receive official confirmation.
Next point. We don't want the experience share to be the same as in Generation 6. A massive change to the way we level up our Pokemon in Generation 6 was undoubtedly the changes made to the experience share. The EXP share has always been a really handy item, allowing you to share the battle experience with another Pokemon without having to let it take part in the battle. It's a great way of giving Pokemon that are struggling that extra little bit of experience that they need. However, this feature massively changed in Generation 6. Not only did it change from a held item to a key item, but it now gives every Pokemon in your party that extra bit of experience. It was honestly one of the biggest factors that made Generation 6 so easy. Too easy. If the experience share is going to return, then we don't want it to be the same as it was in Generation 6. We want it to be the same as it was in previous generations. Or at the very least, let us decide what Pokemon we actually want to gain the extra experience instead of just sharing it with the entire team by default. It would make the experience of the game as a whole a lot more rewarding.
Number 9 on our list, I'm going to discuss how we don't want the new Pokemon to simply be pre-evolutions of Pokemon that already exist, or even worse, clones of already existing Pokemon. The one thing I'm most looking forward to about Pokemon Sun and Moon is seeing what new and interesting Pokemon are introduced in this generation. But a slight worry we have is that some of the Pokemon introduced may simply be clones of Pokemon that pre-exist. And of course, this is something that is totally subjective. Our opinion of why is original may differ from yours, but Pokemon like Basculin, Pokemon like Swoobat, and no offense to people that like these Pokemon is intended, are undoubtedly Pokemon whose designs are very similar to Pokemon that already exist. Basculin seemed like a really underwhelming Magikarp clone, Swoobat seemed like a Generation 5 Zubat clone, Bouffalant looked like Tauros, Alomomola at least resembled Lovedisk. This is just to name a few examples. There is so much potential for some new, really intriguing designs in these games. If the speculation is true and these games are based in a tropical setting, we could have some wonderful new bird Pokemon, Pokemon based on dolphins, Pokemon based on animals like that, with really original designs. Of course, some Pokemon are going to resemble a few that already exist. We could surpass 800 Pokemon in Sun and Moon, and some Pokemon are going to resemble others just a little bit. And I do think Game Freak know what they're doing and that we will get some amazing new Pokemon. It's just a slight concern.
And final point, make legendary Pokemon legendary again. Don't just hand them to us. Honestly, this has been a problem since Generation 4. The catch rates of the legendary mascots have been a complete joke. Most legendary Pokemon tend to have a catch rate of 3. This makes the battle challenging, and so, when you finally capture the Pokemon, it feels worthwhile. In Generation 4, however, Dialga and Palkia have a catch rate of 30. That's the same chance as a Chatot. What were they thinking? And it doesn't improve with time either. Reshiram and Zekrom were introduced with catch rates of 45. Seriously? And of course, the same thing happened with Xerneas and Yveltal. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were better though. They actually changed the catch rates of these legendaries to 3 to make them that bit more challenging, and for that I'm grateful. Even Groudon and Kyogre still retain their tough catch rate. But then you get to Rayquaza, and its catch rate is 45. Why? It is stupidly easy. In my opinion, Rayquaza was always the biggest challenge to capture in the original Hoenn games, and I feel like doing this just kind of ruined the experience for me. There's little point in having to battle it if it can potentially be over in a couple of turns. Go ahead, just throw any old Pokeball at it, you probably got a good chance of catching it. In Pokemon Sun and Moon, we don't want to see legendary Pokemon handed to us as they have been in previous games. We want legendaries to be legendary again. Okay, so that's it for our list. As we said before, if you haven't seen part 1, then click this on-screen annotation or the link in the description below. Well, anyway, that's all for now from me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!